Hello and namaste sabizanalai.
Welcome to Kekura.
Kastukura.
We are your hosts for this episode. I'm Samriddhi.
And I'm Rupi. So this podcast was started by the Nemaste Team to tell our stories and talk about our relatable experiences and universal experiences that we all share as Nepali youths living abroad.
Our episodes will be uploaded bi-weekly, but just for these 2 episodes, we will have weekly uploads. And also, our episodes will be shared on YouTube and as well as on our Spotify account, which will be linked in the descriptions. Our team consists of Nepali youths from all across Canada. Rupi and I will be doing the first 2 episodes in a special way. Because we live near each other, we'll be recording in person together, but future episodes will be recorded online, as we will also have hosts from other team members in our group.
Azakakura.
Hamrukata.
So all different Nepali youths have a variety of different backgrounds, and much like us, we our backgrounds are very different, but we have a lot of similar experiences. And so we thought it would be interesting for the first episode to just talk about each other and our backgrounds. Okay, so I'll start. So, like I said before, my name is Rupi, and I am 18 years old, and I just finished my first year of university. And yeah,
I'm Samriddhi again, and I'm 17 years old. I'm in my second year of high school, in grade 11, and yeah, that is where I'm at. I've been living in Canada for what, 11 years now almost?
yeah. I came to Canada in 2008, so that's like 14 years.
Wow, okay. Yeah, I was like, I'm born in 2005. It's so strange.
Yeah. So we both live in Edmonton currently, but yeah, our backgrounds are really different. So I guess I'll start off first. So I was born in Nepal, and we moved to Canada in 2008. And initially we were in Vancouver. So we moved to Vancouver first, and I did like kindergarten. Well, in Nepal we did like KG and all the all the like little kid grades, and then we came to Canada and Vancouver, and then I did kindergarten and I did grade 1, but then we moved back to Nepal, and then I did grade 1 again, and then we moved back to Vancouver. So yeah, it was a lot of moving, and then we came to Edmonton in 2012, and so I've been here since, and yeah, I've moved a lot of different places in the past, and I've moved a lot of different schools as well. So yeah, it's interesting. Like, because I moved from Nepal when I was little, I guess people assume that, I don't know, I'm like not connected or with like being Nepali, but I think because I did school in Nepal as well, like it helped me. Like I learned Nepali in school, so yeah. I still
Actually, that's really interesting because I didn't know that you went back and forth. And we've been friends for like, I don't know, many years now.
yeah.
On the other hand, I actually never lived in Nepal. Like, I never went to school there because I moved to Korea when I was just a couple months old because of my parents. They were studying there. And yeah, I stayed there for 7 years, 6 years, and then I moved to Edmonton. So Edmonton has been the only city I've lived in Canada, but that's okay. I've been to many places.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like she has not lived in Nepal at all, and I like only like lived in Nepal for just like the first 5 years of my life, I guess. But it's interesting, like to see like, we still share.
Okay, I have a question. Like, how did your language work? Because you moved back and forth, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like, what was like that weird, like beginning period like?
Um, Okay, so in Nepal, I was like in an international. Well, no, it's not an international school, but it was like a. I don't know what you call it. But it was like a. I guess you could call it international school. It was like a Nepali India type of school. There's like a lot of Indian kids as well, and there's like a lot of Nepali kids. And so we like learned English. So like English wasn't a problem. Like we learned English, we learned Nepali. And so when we moved, like I was fine. Like English was fine. But I guess it's kind of funny. This is a funny story. So when I moved to Nepal, I mean, when I moved to Vancouver, I did kindergarten, right? And so in kindergarten, they were learning like their ABCs and stuff. So then in Nepal, I had already done that in like KG, UKG, right? And so then I come, and then they were learning how to write their name, right? But I had done that. So the teacher, it was like the first week, and the teacher was like, okay, so we're gonna be like writing our name. So Rupi, like, do you want to just like try it out? And I like wrote my name, right? And she was like, oh my God, this is so good. She like framed it. She
Genius.
literally took it and like posted it on the bulletin board. And I was like, oh, this is kind of embarrassing. But
That's
yeah.
really funny.
Yeah. So like, what about you? What about like how was language affecting your childhood?
For me, okay, so even if I lived in Korea, okay, the only reason I feel like I speak adequate Nepali right now with my parents is because my parents were also in a foreign language. So then I was kind of like the translator in between because I went to Korean school or kindergarten at least. And like I'd be talking with the taxi driver, right? Like we need to go this place, this place. And then like I mean my parents would understand that much at least, but like I don't know, maybe specifics. But that's why because I had to communicate with both sides, my Nepali like was good. And my mom took me back like every month or two for the like time we were in Korea because it's close by.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's like that's why. Because I feel like when people come here directly, that's when they start losing it
Yeah.
because there's more Nepalis here, and then because our parents can most of the time, even the Nepali adults that move here, like after they can speak English already, so it's you lose it like more easily.
Yeah. I think for me, like I always talked like I was also kind of no, my parents like they were fine, but at home we always talked in Nepali,
Yeah.
right? And in Nepal too, like I also knew Newari because well, we're both Nepali, but like back in Nepal, like I used to like live with my grandparents as well, and they would talk in Newari, and I would hear my parents talk in Newari as well. And so Newari and Nepali, I knew both of them. Like I spoke in Nepali, but I understood Newari really well. And I think it's just really interesting that there's like other Nepali kids that like don't really know Nepali that well or can't communicate properly because I was not like that's not my situation. And I guess as a kid I just assumed that like everyone would just like know Nepali, right? So whenever we like met up with like other families, other Nepali families, especially in Vancouver, I just assumed we would like talk in Nepali, but like with like other kids, other Nepali kids, I talked in English, and I think that's when like I was like, oh,
Oh, okay. You just brought up like a flood of memories. I just realized. It's like now the first time I'm realizing this. So when I moved here, right? We we um we had people who spoke Nepali like in our apartment building. Um and when I don't think they had Nepali friends either. So when I went to speak with them or when I went to talk to them or play with them, whatever first graders do, like we spoke in Nepali. Like
really?
yeah, like for 1 or 2 years. Like
Wait, that's so interesting.
I know. I don't know why I forgot about it because now when I go back to them, like we actually like primarily speak in English. I haven't spoken to them in a while, but yeah, that like they were like Dai Baini, you know. That's interesting. But it's funny because they're from Bhutan.
Yeah.
So they had like those like extra words or like words that you don't really use in like kind of our Nepali family, right?
Yeah.
So then I kind of picked up like those
Oh.
little words.
Mm.
And when I talk to my parents, they'd be like, "Where did that come from?" But yeah.
That's I never thought about that. Like, I think the transition from like talking in Nepali to like kids my age, because like I went to school in Nepal too, so like I talked in Nepali with kids my age because I did like grade one in Nepal, right? I went back and did grade one, and I was like constantly speaking in Nepali with kids my age, and then moving back and like speaking in English with Nepali kids. I feel like that was like really different for me. I was like, well, this is interesting. But yeah, um, I'm I'm really glad that I didn't lose my Nepali. I feel like now it's getting worse. It's like definitely getting worse over time because well, my grandparents like when my grandparents lived with me, like my grandparents were here before, and when they lived with me, I would like constantly be talking to them in Nepali and sometimes Newari as well. So my Nepali was pretty good. But I think now, just like with my parents as well, there's like a lot of English words used as well. So my Nepali has been getting worse. So
No, yeah, no, it's true though, because my parents, they always tell me that whenever my grandparents came over or I went to Nepal, like it was like that period where I would like rapidly pick up Nepali words and Nepali sentences, like especially if when I was littler. Even like okay, I think I went back a couple of years ago, and even then, like I realized how much I picked up, right? And then I'd come back and I'd be like, wow, I'm Nepali. Like I'm just not like
yeah.
you know, that's actually interesting.
Yeah. But so like how was it for you just like going back to visit Nepal? Like just like did you feel like there was like a disconnect?
Oh, well, yeah, definitely. Okay, well, I'm just a shy person in general too. So even speaking with um like my cousins is like difficult at first, but then once I get used to it, it's fine. When I was little, I used to actually talk to them in Nepali, but when I went back a couple years ago, 3, 4 years now, we actually spoke in English predominantly. It might have been because like I don't know, they were even like they were comfortable speaking in English too.
Yeah.
Like even I realized that their Nepali is probably slipping too. Like it's not just us. But I guess like there's a difference. Like I mean, obviously, it's not to the same extent
Yeah.
and the same like type of loss. I don't know how to say this, but
Yeah. I think for me it's kind of similar too because I used to be really close with my cousins as like when we were young because you know like in Nepal people like it's like joint families, everyone
Yeah,
just
yeah.
lives in the same house, right? So I used to live with all my cousins, well like my cousins on my dad's side, and then yeah, we were really close, and we also spoke in Nepali a lot, and I remember it was we used to go back like almost every summer, and there was like a space, like a gap of like around 3 years, and then when I went back, it was like really awkward, like really hard to communicate with them because like we were close before, but then we hadn't spoken for like a really really long time. And yeah, there's like social media, but it's not the same, right? So like going back and like trying to communicate with them it was like really hard. But then once we like started talking more, it was fine. And it was just like really interesting to see there was like a lot of similarities too in like in terms of like I guess music tastes or like movies or like shows. Like we found a lot of similarities in that aspect. And yeah, I also learned a lot of Nepali slang from them.
oh
And
really?
it's like it's funny. Like when they were, because we would also speak in like kind of English, kind of Nepali, and so then they would use like Nepali slang terms, and I would be like, "What is that word?"
Teach me some.
Well, now I forgot all of it. Like I don't remember any of it. But yeah, if I go back to Nepal, I'll like remember to write it all down just to get in my head.
Get those notes down. Oh yeah, okay. So in terms of like have you ever had like a period of time where you were like full on identity crisis? Um like maybe I'm not Nepali. Like
Oh,
kind of
oh. Um, I don't think I've had like a identity crisis like that, as in like Oh, am I Nepali?
Cause okay, well, this wasn't exactly okay. This is a memory when I first moved here, and I it's more about like Korean and the English part of it. But even then, I remember like my parents used to encourage me sticking with Korean, like, cause obviously, like, if I lose that, it's kind of well, it's not a waste. I mean, I guess it is because I spent like 6 years of my life there, and coming here, like, if I forget it all, it'll just be like that was in the past. And I don't know, like, if people ask me, like, people ask me now, do you know Korean if you lived in Korea? And I sadly have to say no because I forgot all of it. I told my dad, I was like, here I'm Canadian, there's no need for Korean. Like, I was a full on,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, it was
Rebellion.
rebellious first grader. It was interesting. But yeah, that's kind of why like I had more of that time crisis.
I don't think I've had a crisis like that because yeah, we came to Edmonton and there was like a Nepali school, I guess, that was started by like a group of like
Yeah.
Nepali uncles and aunties. And then like it was like weekly I think yeah, it was like a weekly thing. So all the kids would like meet up and you would do like sports sometimes and then there would be like Nepali like classes like you would learn Nepali. And I think I guess that helped me a little bit. Like there was a difference in like I guess like a lot of people can relate to this. Like in school when you were a kid, you'd be like, "Oh, where are you from?" Like Nepal. Like the only thing that would come up is Mount Everest.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Like literally the only thing. I'm like, "Oh, Nepal," and they'd be like, "Oh, where is that?" I'll be like, "The place where Mount Everest is," and they'd be like, "Oh, okay, okay." So yeah, like no one really knew where Nepal is, and I would be like, "Oh, it's like between India and between China."
Yeah. Yeah, go to
Mount
that.
Everest. And they'd be like, "Oh wow." So not identity crisis in terms of that, but it was just like annoying, I guess, to having to explain like every single time. People were like, "Oh, where are you from?" I'm like, "Oh,
But I think like as we get older, I mean,
yeah,
it disappears.
yeah, yeah,
Because people start figuring out where countries are.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true.
Okay. This is like I think when it started like I just remember when that really big earthquake went
Yeah.
off in what 2015 or something. Everyone asked me like if my family was okay. And that was when I was like, wait, people know about Nepal? Like so that was kind of like a turning point almost for me, I think.
Yeah, I remember at that time, um, I was, I think I was like, I heard the news like in the morning. It was like a school day, and I heard it in the morning, and it was like really scary because we weren't able to like contact our like grandparents and like family, and so I go to school, and like everyone's like, oh, like, are you okay? Like, is everything okay? And I was just like. I don't even know. I was like having like a mental breakdown, like internally. I was like freaking out, and everyone was asking about it. And then in class that day, my teacher, we were doing I think we were learning how to do like newspaper articles or something. This was grade 6. We were doing newspaper articles, and the teacher was like, "Okay, so like recently we heard about like the Nepal earthquake," and she was like using that as like the background for how to like write your article or whatever. And I don't know. I was just really like I guess I was really touchy about it, but I got kind of mad. Like, I was
No, yeah, it's understandable.
like it's like my family and like my I guess like I don't know, my country or whatever, right? And like it's just like news, It's just like news and we're just like casually talking about it. And I was like, and I don't know. But I guess being Nepali has never made me feel less, or just like feel more. I guess it's just something, like it's just what I am.
Yeah, it's like it's never been a burden or a
Yeah,
bother.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's like never been a burden.
Cause okay, so anyway, you were talking about like making it feel you or making it making you any less. Like, honestly, now, especially now, it just makes me feel like I'm more.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think it's good in that sense.
Yeah.
Especially with like Nemaste and everything too. Like, it kind of built up my patriotism in a way.
That's true. That's
Although I'm not like, because I don't know if this exactly fits the topic, but I was thinking about it, and like, I think the reason I identify with being Nepali so much is like, if I was not Nepali, then I feel like I couldn't really say I'm like Canadian or something, because I mean, even like, like there's nothing to fall back on.
Yeah.
Like, because people are like, where are you from? And I was like, oh, I'm from Canada. Where are you really from? Right? Like,
Yeah.
it's like that.
I get
kind
it.
of.
And I think, okay, sometimes people have a problem with like people being like, oh, where are you really from? And it is annoying, but like, I'll just be like, yeah, Nepal, Like, there's no like problem with me saying I am from Nepal.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
Actually, I've never said I'm from Canada. Like, even if I'm a Canadian citizen, technically, like, even if I went to, I don't know, France, I'd probably still say I'm from Nepal.
Whenever people ask me, like, if I were to travel to another country, they'd be like, "Where are you from?" I'll be like, "Oh, like I live in Canada, but like I'm originally from Nepal." Yeah, so I guess it's always connected.
It is kind of.
I feel like it's interesting for you because like you lived in Korea too, so it's like
Okay, but like, yeah, because my taste buds are literally Korean. But at the same time, nowadays everyone's taste bud is Korean, so I can't tell anymore. Like,
that's true.
it's just a part of my life.
Yeah.
And I think I like, because I did sort of grow up in Korean culture. Like,
Yeah.
when I first came,
Yeah.
like, I mean, there's always people like that are less of a troublemaker, but I was like extremely disciplined when it came to classrooms, because in Korea they're like really, like, they're really like, you need to be respectful to your elders. Like, it's not in Nepal.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a different vibe, but that's interesting. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and going back to what you said about Nemaste, and I think yeah, joining Nemaste for me too was also like being proud to be or like I wanted to be more Nepali in a way, like seeing like our team members and like how they were so like enthusiastic about Nemaste. I wanted to be more Nepali. Like I wanted to like do so many things and like show everyone like Nepal and like do a lot of things and yeah.
It's the same for me. And even like, because in Edmonton there's a big, well, all over Canada there's big like municipal groups, like Nepali groups that will be like cultural groups that will host events and things. And I think at a younger age we're always like, oh, we don't want to go to them. But now, like, seeing our parents just like kind of working hard even to just preserve our culture a little bit, I think I'm really thankful for that. Because like, without that, I wouldn't have met you.
Yeah, that's true.
I wouldn't have met I don't know, like, I just wouldn't have met a lot of people. I don't even think I would like give a glance at Nemaste
That's true.
if I didn't go through that.
Yeah, like it's a good point that when we were kids, because we were like quote unquote forced or like we were pushed to do like traditional dancing, right? Like Nepali dancing or like Newari dancing. We were part of a Newari organization, or we still are. And we were kind of pushed to do that. And I guess at that time we were just like, oh my gosh, like, or I don't know if it's for you, but it was just like every single event they're like, okay, you gotta dance, you gotta dance, you gotta dance. And it's tiring a lot of times. But now that I look back at it, I'm really thankful for that opportunity because it like I guess made me more grounded. And also like with the organization there was like the Newari classes as well, and that was fun. And like going to like the like events when meeting all of the kids and like the
It
families.
just like fosters this like the sense of community.
Yeah.
And it built our little Newari or Nepali whatever friend group
Yeah.
that we can just kind of fall back on now, and it's
Yeah.
it's pretty good.
Like, and making those friends, like they're gonna like connect you really well, right? Because you had like all these experiences together and you can understand each other. And I feel like because we really connect, because like we can make like jokes or like laugh about like different things that happen at those events, or just like bond over like different Nepali things. And yeah, I think this is one of the main reasons we made the podcast, because we wanted to share that, right? And we wanted to like bring together Nepali youth all over and like just like laugh about different things,
Yeah.
like different cultural things, or just like things we've experienced. And yeah,
Things that make us Nepali.
yeah, things that make us unique and us.
And us. Well,
Okay, so I think we can wrap up the first episode right now. Whoa, this is so crazy. We just recorded the first episode.
to end this episode on a more fun note, we will be introducing our segment that we will do every episode, our song of the week.
Yeah.
By week? I don't know.
Yeah, so
Song of every 2 weeks.
yeah, song of the episode.
There you go.
So today's song is called Saathi by Swoopna Suman, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of Swoopna Suman because he's famous. He's like a Nepali rock star for Nepali youth, and yeah, he recently got married, so congratulations to him. They're very cute. The couple are very cute. So Saathi, the song is just about like friendship and like holding on through hard times and just like making memories or like having those memories to look back on. And I think, yeah, it's reminiscent about like, you know,
Of us.
yeah, of us. And yeah, it relates to our episode a little bit, just like being friends and like our
Yeah.
stories together. So yeah, we hope you guys enjoy. Here is a little bit of the song.
शायद तिम्रो मेरो भेट फेरि होला या नहोला, तर सम्झना छ छातीभरि, तर सम्झना छ छातीभरि। फेरि फेरि हामी सँगै सँगै हाँस्न खेल्न नसकौँला, तर यादहरू छन् आँखाभरि, तर यादहरू छन् आँखाभरि। दुःख पीर पर्दा तिमी सम्झी मलाई हाँसिदिनु, सँगै छैनौ हामी तर यो सम्बन्ध गाँसिदिनु। केवल यादहरू बाँकी छन् अब, केवल यादहरू बाँकी छन् अब। टाढा छौँ आज धेरै धेरै, तर साथ सधैँ हामी साथी सधैँ हो।
We hope you enjoyed our first ever episode of Ke Kura Kasto Kura. Please check out our Instagram page and our website. Instagram page is ne.maste, ne.maste, and our website is nemaste.org. We also have a YouTube channel where we'll post this episode with our video, and also on Spotify.
Yeah, and on Instagram, be sure to check out clips that we're going to feature of each episode. And yeah, we will also have fun informational posts regarding Nepali culture on our Instagram page. So please check that out.
All right,
Okay.
let's wrap this up.
So thank you guys once again, and yeah, hope you guys have a good week.
Bye.
See you next week.